I'm Natalie Klein from higherground.work, a website dedicated to warning and informing the public of the harmful transformation that is happening in education today. Let's talk about the queering of our children in schools. What happens to societies when sexual norms become transgressive? Like a tsunami, sexual orientation and gender identity and expression, or SOGIE agendas, have reached and breached our schools. School walls not only don't protect kids from these sexualized ideas, but they also prevent any escape from it. Our children are being queered right underneath our noses. What does this mean? I'll explain. Families face an unprecedented cultural shift that is deconstructing the natural family and redefining sexual boundaries and norms. You've likely seen videos of children who think they were born in the wrong bodies and who are told that puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and even surgery will transform them into the opposite sex. Maybe you've heard of kids as young as 8 who say they're pansexual, or perhaps you know of children who identify as furries and are allowed by adults in school to act like animals. None of this is normal behavior for kids, but it is being normalized and incentivized by inclusion policies and practices in our schools. Policies such as social-emotional learning programs embedded into every subject. Safe school programs which promote schools as being a refuge for children whose parents don't affirm their gender identity or sexual orientation. Gay-straight alliances, which are now known as gender and sexuality alliances in our secondary schools. Rainbow clubs in elementary schools. Speech codes that compel use of pronouns that are at odds with the child's biological sex. The labeling of school personnel as trusted adults, which implies that parents are not to be trusted by their child when it comes to questions about sexual orientation and gender identity. Rainbow flags and displays and QR codes linked to sexually explicit sites or safety apps and hotlines where strangers can talk about sex and sexuality with your child in secret. Behavioral and dress code leniency policies that facilitate queer expression. Code switching that entails school personnel switching between the child's given name and their preferred name and pronouns, depending on whether they are talking to the child or to the child's parents. Gender policies that allow a child to socially transition without parents knowing or use bathrooms and locker rooms designated for the opposite sex. Policies that allow boys to play in girls' sports. Pornographic books and materials justified under diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Kids who embrace the SOGIE culture at school get celebrated as being brave and authentic. They receive extra attention and preferential treatment, including special graduations, clubs, proms, posters, and even curricula and resources specific to the SOGIE culture. Students who don't embrace SOGIE culture are socially stigmatized and even academically penalized for being homophobic, transphobic, not empathetic, and even discriminatory. Our schools uphold queer culture to the extent that children associate pleasure with embracing the ideology and pain for rejecting it. Where have our protective instincts gone when we as parents knowingly let schools strip our children of their innocence and set them up for a lifetime of confusion? As a parent, you have one job: to rescue and reclaim your kids so they don't get swept away by the evils of our day. Now is the time to get to higher ground. I'm Natalie Klein from higherground.work. Thank you for watching.